Hello, this is Jennifer, and today I'd like to talk to y'all about some garden work that I've been up to recently. This is probably from last weekend, but it's been pretty busy with springtime planting kind of things. I think, especially with the longer days now after the time change. I've been out in the garden after work, and so I've been doing a lot of stuff that I haven't necessarily been filming. So I had this lemon tree. It's after our last frost now. If we have if we have another frost, it's going to be really weird. But anyway, I'm acting like it's past our last frost, which I'm pretty sure it is. So it is time. It is a very exciting time. All of the blossoms are pretty much gone. I have little baby plums on the plum tree behind the fence. And we're actually in quite a dry period. I think we have 2 weeks of no rain, at least. So it's hot, windy, dry. We're getting to that regular California not winter. So anyway, I wanted to plant out this lemon tree. I'm pretty sure it's a lemon. It might be some other random citrus seed that I planted, but it's the most vigorous growing of the citrus seedlings that I have so far. I've also planted up some different grapefruit seeds recently, so we'll see how those go eventually. But I wanted to put this in the ground before it was too late. I was growing it in kind of a shallow little container, and so I wanted to get it nicely put in the ground. So I moved my herb box and used the spot where the dirt was kind of bare and moist, and dug into that to put this tree kind of closer to my house. Something that I've really been wanting to do recently is expand on these regions that are kind of near the pillars of the covered patio and build out the garden-ness of those areas, just so it's a little more gives a little bit of place to expand that has a little bit of structure already in it and allows for, I don't know, like let's plug in some flowers and maybe even some vegetables and that kind of thing into these areas. So this is kind of my first venturing into that idea by putting this tree somewhat close. It's also next to this clothesline that is somebody sawed off the top of it, so I have like a clothesline on the other side that I can't string up to anything because whoever lived here before sawed off the clothesline. I have no idea why. I'd love to have a clothesline. So anyway, I'm planting a tree next to it. So here he is, adorable and beautiful. So I took all the lawn clippings and dispersed them across the garden bed over here where the really hard clay subsoil stuff was dug out to put in this fence. And it was also placed on top of the wood chips that I had mulching this area. So not only do we have terrible soil, but it's also got wood chips underneath it, which is, might be good long term, but short term, I have very yellow, sad plants over in that area. So I'm trying to add the nitrogen back into it with some grass clippings. This is a pot that we've retired from our home. We decided to, I guess, invest in some better quality pots and pans, especially because a lot of these old cheap pots and pans, the Teflon coating was beginning to peel off. So anyway, I decided to use them for planting. I have some sweet potatoes, hopefully sending off some of their, slips, sending off some slips, or basically just like some plants off of the sweet potatoes. We will see. I am not sure when to expect that to happen because I've never planted sweet potatoes before. But anyway, what I'm doing in this pot is planting in some rice. So I have my old rice from the rice that I grew last year. I have some of those that I planted in there. And then I'm also putting in some mixed rice from like the grocery store. That's where I initially got the rice that I grew last year. Was from this bag of rice. So anyway, I'm putting kind of a lot of rice. We'll see what comes up. Hopefully something will germinate, and I'm just putting some soil on top, and I let it all soak in, and then I will actually had to water this today because it has, like I said, been really exceedingly dry. Here we're checking back up on that little lemon tree or whatever it is. I put some boxes around it. I also planted a ton more apple seeds and some additional grapefruit seeds. So that's the progress on those guys. They are beginning to live. So I have this fava bean that has this kind of reddish stalk. It's the only plant that I have that looks like that. So I'm definitely going to save seeds from that plant and push that out elsewhere. This is a potato that I have popping up in the garden now. Those are daikon flowers from my daikon radish that went to seed, and some beautiful fava bean flowers. They smell so good. They really smell so good in the evenings. And then yes, just some admiring the beauty of the fava beans and the arugula flowers. We have our first roses coming into bloom. It is truly spring. My peas are pushing out a ton of flowers and actually developing quite a lot of peas, more than I had experienced during the winter when my peas were, they made like 2 peas and they were very sad and wind jostled. And there was a rare clover sighting. Usually I'm not filming garden videos when she's outside. And yeah, look at all these peas. I ate 3 of them today and I was very happy about it. I have more potatoes just bursting out through this kind of unruly bed of brassicas and arugula that has gone to seed. I have more potatoes bursting out of the ground. I'm so excited. I don't think I filmed this, but I planted some colorful potatoes that I'd gotten from the grocery store, some red ones and some purple ones. So I'm really hoping to get some wonderful, colorful potatoes that I then can continue planting year after year. But I have not seen them sprout up yet. This was a plum or an apricot that I also planted recently. And then we can see the beautiful progress of this side yard. I've got some sunflower seeds popping up. It's going to be so beautiful. This like side path is really developing into such a gorgeous area. That's all that I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thank you for watching.